My colleagues and I from Brown Rudnick are truly honored to represent the plaintiff in this case, Johnny Depp. For nearly 30 years, Mr. Depp built a reputation, a respected artist whose name was associated with success. Today, his name is associated with a lie, a false statement uttered by the defendant, Amber Heard. It's a case about how devastating words can be when they are false. Under the law, a person who makes a false statement about someone else can be held responsible. That's because words matter. Specifically, the words that she used in an op-ed published in the Washington Post in December 2018. And the op-ed was published, and this is no accident, the evidence will show, no one had ever, in 5 decades, accused Johnny Depp of being violent with a woman. And no one had even suggested ever that he was capable of something like this. By choosing to lie about her husband for her own personal benefit, Amber Heard forever changed Mr. Depp's life and reputation.
For years now, the marriage and relationship of Depp and Heard has honestly been boiled down to a singular question: who AB'd who? According to Amber, she was AB'd physically by Depp during their marriage, and that led to her leaving him. But Johnny notes that it was she who AB'd him both physically, mentally, and emotionally, and that led to not just the divorce, but one of the lowest points in his career. But at their trial, a new possibility was put forth, one that states both of them AB'd one another. We'll break it down for you, but before we do that, go ahead and do us a favor by leaving a like on the video, subscribing to the channel, and hitting the bell icon so you never miss an upload from us. And with that being said, let's get straight into the video. Do you want to win an iPhone 12, maybe a MacBook Pro? How about $500 cash? All you have to do is comment the secret hidden message somewhere in this video. That's it. Oh, and leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel so we can keep affording these giveaways. Winner will be announced at the last day of each month. Thanks for watching and good luck. Number 6. The counselor claims. Depp and Heard both emerged with mud on their faces Thursday after a string of witnesses gave unflattering testimony about their union, and a marriage counselor called their relationship one of mutual AB. Dr. Laurel Anderson, who treated the couple beginning in 2015, described their relationship as dysfunctional and volatile in a videotaped deposition recorded in late February and played for jurors Thursday in the Fairfax County Circuit Courthouse in Virginia. They engaged in what I saw as mutual AB, she said, as the warring exes watched from opposite sides of the room. I know she led on more than one occasion and started it. Heard, age 35, admitted to Anderson that she had hit, socked, and hurled a can at Depp, age 58, in various brawls. She told Anderson that Depp had also smacked her and showed her bruises to prove it. The doctor testified. It was a point of pride to her if she felt disrespected to initiate a fight, Anderson explained. The clinical psychologist described Heard as having a jackhammer style of talking that made it difficult for Depp to get a word in. He was cut off a lot, she added. Anderson said Heard had recounted Depp's verbal assaults during their sessions. Mr. Depp says to her, "No one likes you, you're getting fame from me. I'm falling out of love with you, you're a..." Anderson read from her notes, adding she's reporting how mean they are to one another. Number 5. Amber's actions. Earlier Thursday, the videotaped deposition of Heard's former personal assistant, Kate James, was played for jurors. The ex-staffer elicited chuckles from the gallery when asked if she was paid and replied very poorly. James described Heard as extremely demanding, calling her at all hours and on weekends, but refusing to pay for overtime. James, who worked for Heard from 2012 to 2015, said the Aquaman actress was verbally AB to her late mother, and her sister. Her mother was terrified of her, James recalled. Her poor sister was treated like a dog that you kick. Heard, she said, would bombard her with text messages, sometimes beginning as early as 2 a.m. During one confrontation over James's salary, Heard allegedly went berserk. She leapt up out of her chair, put her face approximately 4 inches from my face. She was spitting in my face, telling me, "How dare you ask me for the salary you're asking for," recalled the ex-staffer, who was later fired. So clearly Heard wasn't happy with that. Number 4, mimicking Johnny. The next point is something that is honestly rather curious, because due to the attention upon this case, there are all sorts of points being brought up about what Johnny and Amber are doing, both in court and out of it. But easily one of the most unique things is that apparently Heard is literally mimicking the fashion of Depp. One of the last public appearances in which Depp was spotted before this trial, he wore an all-black shirt with a black tie and a completely gray suit. Amber wore the exact same outfit on the first day of the trial. On that same day, Depp decided to wear a black Gucci B-tie. Amber Heard wore the exact same tie on the next day. Johnny wore all black on that day, and Heard wore all black on the third day of trial. Now, if you were to ask Heard about this, you'd just hear her say that she's just wearing a good look for the trial, but the pictures don't lie. She's literally mimicking Johnny's visual style as she goes to court. But why? Many have speculated that this is her way of playing mind games with the man, something that further establishes how AB and vindictive she can be, even when she's trying to plead her case as not that in court currently. If Johnny's reacting to this, we haven't seen it yet, but it could still happen, and one has to wonder if Depp's team might bring this up given how frequently she appears to be doing it now. But only time will tell, obviously. Number 3. The mutual AB. Let's go back now to the counselor's words, because what she said was very interesting in various ways. The idea of their relationship being mutually AB has honestly been lying under the surface of everything for quite some time now. And if you really think about it, things likely ended this quickly in regards to their marriage, which only went 1 year due to how they treated each other in some form. But while this is very illuminating to note, the question here is very much one of who was more AB, as well as who did what kind of AB to who, because the doctor made it very clear that Heard was very much not above doing things like hitting Johnny. Recall she said she hit him in multiple brawls they had, as well as the fact that she had a jackhammer kind of talking that would cut off Depp on the regular, as well as a need to initiate a fight should she ever feel disrespected by Depp. Now yes, she did also say that Heard told her about verbal AB that Depp did on her allegedly, and given past testimonies and fights, it's fair to say that he did yell at her and say some very mean things to her. But she also said that Heard showed bruises from physical AB that Depp gave her, and that's a key point of contention because the doctor can't claim that Depp did indeed hit her, just that Depp allegedly hit her. Still, if you look at what she said and what she didn't say, you'll see that she accuses Heard of a lot more than she accused Johnny of, and that's something that will hurt her in the long run. That's not to say that Depp is looking 100% clean and all that, but that also doesn't mean he's an AB'er in the physical sense, as others have noted as this trial has gone on. Number 2, the neighbor's testimony. Isaac Baruch was Heard and Depp's neighbor during their marriage in their LA home and had some very key testimony to give. Baruch described seeing Heard on May 22nd in the aftermath of an argument she'd had with Depp the night before. He said that Heard told him Johnny came by last night and he became violent. Later, he said that he questioned Heard, asking, "He hit you?" And she said, "Yeah, he threw a phone at me and hit me. And I'm looking because I had just seen her 2 feet away and I'm going, where?" He said that Heard put her head out for him to look at her face. "I'm looking at the whole thing and I don't see anything. I don't see a cut, bruise, swelling. It's just Amber's face." He also insisted that Heard was not wearing makeup. He said that he then made a joke to her, "Well, I don't see anything, but maybe all the beauty from one side of the face is outshining everything." And she's laughing, smiled, and I just looked at everybody and said, "This sounds nuts." Some might even respond to that with, "Nuts indeed." Number 1, how things are weighing right now. While it's truly impossible to know where things are headed in this case with Depp and Heard, we can say for certain things aren't going well for one of them, that one being Amber Heard, because so far we've heard from Depp's sister, the former couple's neighbor, the former couple's counselor, Amber's former assistant, and then one of Johnny's assistants, who was removed from the court after she violated a court rule, but her testimony still holds weight in some ways, who all basically said the same thing. Amber is an AB woman who went to town on Depp. She'll do her best to counter this, but these words aren't likely to be ignored for a while. And there you have it, everyone, a look at the newest bits of Depp and Heard's trial and where things might just be headed thanks to all that has been said by multiple parties and people. Do you think that this does indeed showcase a lot of new things and gives a potential new wrinkle to everything? Or do you think that this just makes the case all the more unbearable? Let us know in the comments down below, be sure to subscribe, and we'll see you next time on the channel.